What if you could spot next week's deals before everyone else? Grocery shopping has become a minefield for anyone trying to keep a budget. In 2025, food-at-home prices climbed another 2.3%, and the outlook for 2026 points to more increases ahead. Most shoppers have noticed their favorite brands shrinking in size. 82% now say they have spotted shrinkflation on the shelves. Even sale banners cannot always be trusted. Consumer reporters have caught major chains offering so-called deals that actually work out to a higher price per ounce than before. The moment that changed everything for me came during a detergent promotion. The sign promised 20% off, but a quick check of last week's receipt showed I would be paying more for less. That night, I started logging prices in a simple spreadsheet, not to outsmart the system, but to avoid falling for these tricks again. The goal was not to predict the future, just to make better choices and avoid overpaying when the numbers did not add up. Subscribe for more practical tips on smarter shopping. A reliable price tracking sheet begins with a handful of essential fields, each one chosen for clarity and consistency. The first column lists the product using the same name, brand, or UPC code every week. This discipline keeps the record focused, so each entry tells the story of a single item over time. The date follows, marked in a straightforward year-month-day format, anchoring each price to a specific moment. Store name comes next, capturing the reality that prices for identical products often shift from one chain to another. Shelf price records the standard cost before any discounts, while unit price, such as dollars per ounce, reveals the true cost, exposing subtle changes in packaging or quantity. A simple promotion flag, set as 1 for yes or 0 for no, marks whether a sale is in effect. Over weeks, this field uncovers patterns in store promotions and helps separate genuine deals from recycled marketing. Days since last markdown is a running count, quietly revealing the hidden rhythms of retail cycles, where staples often follow a predictable 4-week or 6-week pattern. The moving average column smooths out daily noise, averaging the previous 14 unit prices to show a clearer baseline. Week over week, percent change is calculated as the current unit price minus the unit price 7 days earlier, divided by that earlier unit price. It tracks sudden jumps or drops, highlighting moments when prices shift sharply. A final predictive field stands ready, its purpose left unexplained for now, a placeholder for more advanced analysis. Weekly sampling is the discipline that gives the sheet its power. Most data comes from quick receipt photos, in-store checks, or numbers pulled from public weekly circulars. Manual entry works best for groceries and household staples bought on repeat. Extra columns only earn their place if they prove useful. The simpler the sheet, the more likely it is to reveal real trends. Patterns start to appear once there are a few weeks of data in the sheet. What looked like a random string of numbers now starts to reveal rough patterns: detergent prices dipping every 4 weeks, paper towels dropping mid-month, or canned goods running on a 6 or 8 week rotation. These are not hard rules, but the repetition is enough to spot when a sale is likely real and when it is just a recycled sticker. Unit price is the backbone of this whole process. Retailers often shrink package sizes or change the count, hoping shoppers will not notice. By tracking the price per ounce or per sheet, the spreadsheet cuts through the noise, showing if a so-called discount is actually better than last month or just clever packaging. Weekly changes matter, but a single week's drop is not always meaningful. The moving average smooths out the bumps, giving a more honest baseline. If the current price falls well below that average, especially with a promotion flag set, there is a good chance a sale is real. But these signals are context, not a guarantee. Prices can spike for reasons the sheet cannot predict, like supply shocks or sudden demand. To keep the workload practical, it pays to start with items that hit the budget hardest: high-cost staples, frequent purchases, or anything that swings wildly from week to week. Laundry detergent, paper goods, and canned foods are good bets. Fresh produce, on the other hand, is so volatile that tracking often just confirms how little control the shopper has. The spreadsheet is a tool for making smarter choices, not a crystal ball. Subscribe for more ways to outsmart retail pricing tricks. Retailers have mastered the art of making discounts look better than they really are. The Federal Trade Commission requires that any crossed-out price, the so-called former price, must be genuine and actually offered for a substantial period. Yet, a closer look at store shelves and digital banners tells a different story. Strike-through pricing with a bold red line slashing through an inflated regular price is everywhere. But in a 12-month public log, 38 cases failed to meet the FTC standard. In those instances, the higher price was either never offered or existed for only a few days. That is hardly the substantial period the law expects. Now labels and urgent banners can create a sense of scarcity, but often the tracked history shows no real improvement. Some products bounce between sale and regular so quickly that the deal is just a recycled sticker. Loss leader timing is another tactic. A staple item is deeply discounted to draw you in, but the price quietly returns to normal the following week. Shoppers who are not tracking weekly cycles often miss that the discount is nothing more than a rotating lure. Clearance windows and end-of-cycle markdowns present another challenge. Retailers will mark down slow-moving stock at the end of a product's life, but these drops are often surrounded by weeks of higher pricing. Meanwhile, package shrinkage, reducing the size but keeping the price steady, can make a sale look bigger than it is. The spreadsheet method helps cut through these tricks, but it cannot catch every angle. Smart shopping means watching for these patterns and questioning deals that seem too good to be true. Waiting just a little longer can make a real difference, and the spreadsheet proves it with concrete examples. Take laundry detergent. Over 8 weeks, one careful shopper logged the price each Wednesday. The shelf tag hovered at $12.99 most weeks, but the 14-day moving average sat at $12.50 until week 8, when a genuine sale dropped the price to $10.99. Holding off meant saving about $2 per bottle simply by letting the data confirm a real markdown instead of jumping at every discount sign. Paper towels followed a similar script. The price bounced between $17.49 and $16.99 for weeks, then fell sharply to $11.99 in the 6th week. By tracking the 4 to 6 week rhythm, the shopper avoided buying too early and pocketed an extra $5.50 on that single purchase. The spreadsheet's record showed this was not a one-off, but a pattern that repeated every month or so, a rhythm hidden from anyone just glancing at weekly flyers. Canned tomatoes, tracked over 12 weeks, offered another clear win. The moving average for a 12-can bundle held steady at $2.10 per can, but in week 12, the price slid to $1.69. Buying at that moment meant saving $4.92 on the case. None of these examples relied on guessing or luck. Each one used the sheet to time the buy, letting real price history guide the decision. This approach does not guarantee a sale next week, but it does help avoid overpaying when the numbers say to wait. Subscribe for more honest strategies that help you shop smarter every week. Fresh strawberries offer a lesson in what the spreadsheet can and can't catch. After tracking just 5 weeks and logging 3 meaningful prices, the numbers pointed to a likely drop. But a sudden regional shortage sent prices soaring instead. No formula can outsmart a supply shock or fill in the blanks when history is too short. These misses are reminders, data helps, but it doesn't control the market. The strongest decision tool in the sheet is the predictive flag column. Its rule is simple. The logic reads like this: if unit price minus MA divided by MA is less than negative 0.1, and promotion flag is greater than or equal to 1, and days since last markdown is less than 14, then the sheet writes the words possible drop, otherwise it leaves the field blank. This checks 3 things at once: if the price is at least 10% below its recent average, if there is a promotion, and if the last markdown happened less than 2 weeks ago. When all 3 line up, the flag appears. But this signal works best on items with a solid track record, things like detergent or paper towels, where price cycles are regular and data builds up week after week. It falters with new products, fresh produce that swings with the weather, or items that get personalized prices based on store or shopper. Treat the flag as a nudge, not a promise. Use it for normal household needs, not for hoarding or chasing every possible deal. The free Smart Shopper cheat sheet template includes this formula and all the columns shown so far, ready for anyone to copy, adapt, and put to work. Subscribe for more honest strategies that help you shop smarter every week. Every week, prices shift, sometimes quietly, sometimes dramatically. A spreadsheet will not guarantee tomorrow's deals, but it will reveal real patterns and expose common retail tricks. In a world of rising costs and hidden markups, smarter tracking means fewer surprises at checkout. Subscribe for honest, practical tips that help you shop sharper.